We're live, guys. See, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to talk about doing a live stream. Very quickly, I'm going to keep these short because I realize when they're long, people don't want to see long videos. They want me to get to the point. So I'm just going to wait to see if you guys are coming in. And then I think it's very important to really dive into the subject of not only weight loss on keto, and all of this stuff. All right, so hey everyone, as you guys are chiming in, I'm actually going to close the chat for a second. Hey Deborah, and give a talk about fat loss on diets, fat loss on keto, and fat loss on a low carb, high fat dietary protocol. And then I'm going to take some questions. So for those who are looking for just the straight talk, stay tuned right now. So I'm going to close the chat. What's up, everyone? See. Okay. So just for 5 minutes, I'm going to hide the, see some messages such as potentials. Okay. Okay, so just for now, I'm going to hide the messages so I can talk and focus. And then I'm going to turn back on the chat so you guys can go ahead and say hi, because after the chat, you guys always read the chat and see the chat from all you guys. So you can go ahead and say hello. It'll appear in a second. So here we go. On the YouTube stratosphere, fear of losing weight, of course, I've been saying this for years. It has everything to do with your insulin and estrogen and actually your microbiome and your sleep. So I'm going to go into these details, and it doesn't matter what diet you're on. That's what it's about. So you want to talk about your hormones, or I'm going to talk about your hormones, your gut biome, your stomach acid, your sleep, and your blood sugar regulation when it comes to dropping body fat. People keep not understanding it's not calories in, calories out. Now, how much you eat and how much you utilize for energy is negligible. There are some factors in, like, if you just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat a lot of food and you sit and do absolutely nothing for days on end, you will start to store it as fat. But I'm going to go into these details. But the first thing that I really want to drive home, and before I go there, I'm going to talk about, and just let you guys know, I have a keto course, and it is through my website. So it's a subscription base, it's $15 a month. And yes, I do this stuff full time. So as you can see, I don't sell elixirs and I don't have affiliate programs because I haven't found companies yet that I like to connect with. Anyway, so you can go to stephanieperson.com. I do consultations and I have a course and I'm still writing my keto book. So be looking out. Now, with that said, let's talk about the fat loss and weight loss and all of this nonsense. All right. You guys don't seem to understand that keto is an 80% fat diet. Now, if you didn't do keto and you wanted to just do low carb, high fat, you still got to keep those fats up pretty high. You know why? Because in that fat, you're going to have lovely vitamins and minerals that your body can use, micronutrients, to heal the body so you can actually burn some stupid fat. So you can't, people have this sort of wrongful thinking of doing chicken breast and tuna and whitefish and olive oil and thinking that they are going to lose weight. It's very bizarre, this concept, because what you're also going to lose is a lot of proteins in your skin and collagen, and everybody's obsessed with looking young as they get older, but you lose everything. So we don't want to lose proteins in our body. We're trying to lose body fat, right? Now, I am a proponent of the ketogenic diet. Okay, I'm a believer, y'all. And I was not a believer in the beginning. I was really paranoid that I would be just hypoglycemic and crashing all day long. Now, with that said, I had energy enough to get through my workout, but I did crash in the afternoon. And then I fixed that because I upped my fat, not just 80%, but starting at 200 grams of fat. So you guys have some kind of gauge to follow, because you could do 80% fat from 100 calories. So nobody talks about that. I don't understand this idea of percentages of macros on a ketogenic or any dietary protocol without context. Now, with that said, here's the problem. It's the sirens outside of my window. Okay, try to focus. Pull over. Okay, literally outside my window, but here we go. So, essentially, the reason why you can go on the internet and see before and after pictures where people have lost 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds on diets, restrictive diets, low carb diets, ketogenic diets, is because they are restricting a lot and moving a lot, right? A lot of cardio, a lot of fasted cardio, a lot of intermittent fasting, and a lot of food restriction. So when the body doesn't get the gasoline to drive the car, it will eat itself. It has no problem with munching on your bicep, or for men, munching on your legs, making them stick legs. Okay? You ever see guys with big up top and little skinny legs, little table legs? That's the adrenals munching on your legs, people. And if you were to step on a scale, you would weigh less because you're dropping a lot of muscle, amino acids, and proteins. So it doesn't matter what diet you're on. If you don't understand what's going on with your current metabolic health, you don't know what you're losing on a scale. And the reason why a lot of you guys get confused, how much am I yabbering? Okay, we're at 7 minutes. The reason why a lot of you get confused on keto and why you're not losing weight is because y'all got some thyroid problems, okay? Y'all have some blood sugar dysregulation, because I keep telling people, if your blood sugar is high, you ain't losing nothing but muscle, okay? So know what your blood sugar is. I don't mean what you pee on. I mean, prick your finger or go to a doctor, get your insulin checked and get your A1C checked, and check your fasted blood sugar daily. And not only that, test your blood sugar all day long, at least once a week. And then you're going to understand, or you wake up tired, that means you are developing insulin resistance in the middle of the night, which if you have insulin resistance, you're not going to lose nothing. So when you go step on the scale, you're losing water. When you go step on the scale, you're losing amino acids. And you look gaunt and you look sickly. Okay? So let's not get it twisted. But the reason why a lot of you guys don't understand the difference between water, muscle, or fat loss is because people go online and go, before, after. And what they're not actually telling you is how horrible they feel, how crepey their skin gets, dark circles under their eyes, nausea, thyroid, hardcore hair loss, bowels get locked up from under eating and over exercising. But does anyone talk about that? No. You know why they don't talk about it? Because they're not going to get the attention that people are obsessed with weight loss. Because if I went and lost 50 pounds and put that online, it's so everybody can give me that adulation. Wow, Hercules, you lost all that weight. Oh, so fabulous. Because we're in that society. But what that person's not telling you is how horrible they feel, how hypoglycemic they become doing this dietary measure, how sometimes they cannot get out of bed, but they lost 40 pounds. So the reason why they do this is because people are starved for everyone to say, good job, good job. That's why you guys are confused, why you can watch other people lose so much weight. And then you try to do it yourself and you feel horrible. You're like, I just don't understand. So understand these reasons. Number one, if your blood sugar is like this, boom, boom, up, down to the floor, you're not going to lose weight. Let me tell you something right now. If your endocrine system, your hormones are jacked, you're not going to lose no weight. You can step on a scale, lose 20 pounds of water and some muscle. And then develop crepey skin, and you see the distress under your eyes because your kidneys are like... True fat loss means you must fix the body at the same time. If you're not, we got 63 people. Y'all need to like up the stream. Maybe it's not showing the legs. So I'm going to turn on the chat because I want to go over things like this, gut and balance, right? The gut, brain, right? The vagus nerve going, and talk about the microbiome, talk about how that's affecting blood sugar, talk about the adrenals and the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal, and thyroid axis, and why you guys are not really losing the fat that you so deserve. And then when people lose weight too quickly, they look sickly. Up goes the chat. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Boom. All right. So now I see everything's visible. Don't forget to like up the stream, guys. Now I can see all of your commentary. So I'm going to read what you're saying here. Let's see. Me and my mom trying to lose weight together. Well, Princess, you're not going to lose weight together unless you guys stabilize your blood sugar and your estrogen and the microbiome here and your sleep. Because those are the only ways you will ever drop any body fat without taking down some skin, your hormones, or your menstrual cycle gets freaking weird. And then your testosterone goes. It's weird. It says that there's 0 likes. That's bizarre. Okay, how do you keep lactic acid down after workouts? I don't know what you mean because your body uses lactic acid, turns into parasites. Pray tell there might be something else going on besides just a lactic acid burn. We are trying keto. So, Princess, is how you do keto. People think they're going to just do keto and then lose weight, and they don't because their fats are too low, so they can't adapt. And then they're just on low-carb diets, so then the thyroid becomes affected. And your insulin drops when you intermittent fast, but if you do a bunch of stuff while intermittent fasting, the body has no choice but to start to burn through your amino acids. And none of these really smart professionals talk about this, and I don't know why. Why, you guys? Why aren't you talking about that? Okay, what do you tell people who say to use fat as a lever for weight loss? They say if you want to use fat, don't eat some. How's that logical? And I'm not even picking on you, Jessica, but because people say this all the time, and it's like do people even consider science anymore? The ketogenic diet is a high fat diet. If your fat is not high, that's not keto. That's just substrate to come in the gullet. So then the brain can learn how to create the enzymes to break down that fat via the liver into fat that can enter the bloodstream and then be used by the Krebs cycle. There's different stages that your body must go through to even learn how to use the ketones which it's making from. So that is the reason why you eat fat. In layman's terms, just to simplify it, you're trying to get the brain to stop using glucose as its primary source of fuel, like gasoline to drive a car. And if you don't put a new gasoline in the car will always want the regular gasoline. It's not going to want diesel. So you got to eat fat and teach the body how to convert fat into ketones, which then can be used by the Krebs cycle. What are the Dietary coconut? Is it considered a nut? It's considered a fruit. There are some people have histamine response. They're just big histamine producers, and they're reacting to certain foods that create histamine. And unfortunately, coconuts tend to be another. Okay, where can I find accurate info for HDL, DL, or should I discard that? You should discard that unless you're eating a lot of carbohydrates. Okay, but what you can do is you can check your HDL numbers, your triglyceride numbers, and the ratio between those two. I mean, you could do your CRP, your inflammatory markers, but if I bump my elbow, that can make my inflammatory markers really high. But really what you want to check is your LDL small particle Bs And there's only 3 labs that test that, so good luck. And then you also want to check, you really, really, really want to check your calcium score to see if you're plaquing. And your blood pressure, because that's a really big sign of coronary artery disease, is constantly elevated blood pressure. It's not that hard. This total cholesterol stuff is a bunch of nonsense because you have to break down the particle sizes for different reasons. Because if I eat a lot of fat and then go and take a cholesterol test, my serum cholesterol is going to be through the roof just because I had some fat. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Say, let me see, don't just like show your love for Stephanie. She's the real deal, not like other people. Yay, Mark. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I thought you did not approve of fasting. Did not approve of fasting, but I just saw you haven't had you have it on your website. No, that's context, people. I have because people are obsessed with fat loss, and if you're doing a ketogenic diet, once you are fully adapted, so context, right? Let's put this into context. I'm totally against fasting for people who are obsessed with losing weight. What I like for people to do is to keto adapt. And so when people decide, well, not even when their body decides that it's primarily now running on ketones. Now, ketones from units of fat from the body, no longer fat from the dietary fat, right? Your blood sugar is stable, your resting heart rate is good, your blood pressure is good, your hormones are good, your sleep is good, your microbiome is good, right? And you're exercising, and you can keep those consistent blood values and symptoms, then you start off eating a breakfast. And then you can take out your lunch, but take a fatty tea, take a couple bites of fat in between. So that would be I don't want to go into detail because I think you guys would just do whatever I say, but that would be sort of what you might consider a fasting schedule. And so people hammered me so much about trying, well, what do I do once I'm adapted and I want to drop body fat? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll put something together that's safe. And that's what you see on my site. Context. There are no likes. This is bizarre. Deborah, do you see likes on the computer screen, or is there like a glitch going on with my phone? Because it says that there are 75 people in the house and 0 likes, which is very bizarre. Oh, yeah, thank you, Princess. Sorry. Thanks for the advice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Yvette Diaz. Thank you for the $5. And if you got a question, I'm right here for you guys. So, I was watching some live streams with other. Okay, just had a calcium test, a calc. $100. Let's see what Freddie says. Scored 23. I was hoping for 0. Well, I'm okay. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how old you are. I don't know your form of life. But if you're trying your hardest to lower your calcium score, then that's awesome. Okay, hey Steph, I'm full from eating a late lunch, 3 p.m., not hungry after 6 to 6:30. Skip eating at 4:30. Is that okay? I also have fatty tea at 4:30. No. So here's again where I use that word context, where I sound very snarky. You need to know that some people are not hungry because there's problems with their gallbladder. So when you're eating a high-fat diet, right, you have low stomach acid, and you try to, you got some gallbladder sludge, some crystals forming, little stones, and you try to get down a lot of fat, the body's like, I can't. So we have to distinguish between the two to make sure that there's nothing. Stupid thing. I thought I had to start a new stream, but I guess I don't. Oh, goodness. Let me know, guys, if you can see me. If you can see me now, put in number 1. Put in a number 1 if you guys can see me. Okay, good. Technology. I'm sure that this stream, the Wi-Fi signaling in my building is atrocious. Okay, gotcha, you guys. Thanks. And so unfortunately, glitches. It's not clear, which is Deborah's great for info. Yeah, isn't she? We love Deborah. All right. So I was on my friggin' rant, and then it just stopped, and then I was trying to get it to resume for a few minutes, but it wouldn't work. All right, let's see here. So I'm gonna go back to some of your questions. I just recently got high cholesterol on a carnivore diet. Keto is it's 245, the first time in my life, and triglycerides are very low, 28. My cholesterol is glucose levels were way lower on. So Narita, I don't know what you're worried about. It doesn't. Who cares about the total cholesterol? It means nothing. So you really want to look at your HDL and your triglyceride. So those are kind of incomplete numbers. I wouldn't worry too much. Narita, you want to factor in, like I said, your calcium score, your VLDLs, your small particle LDLs. Let me see what snacks are considered keto. You guys really don't need to snack on keto, and I've learned that over the years. Like if I'm traveling and if I'm on a flight, there are certain things that you can use, right? But like if you don't have a latex allergy, you can eat avocados because avocados are very high histamine. You could do fat bombs and fatty teas and bone broth with fat added to it. You could make a pork belly jerky, which is great because pork belly is so dominant in fat. You could eat egg yolks. I mean, you could do flax crackers. You could do flax pancakes, which I don't like to go too much in the fake carbohydrates. You could do, I mean, there's a ton of stuff, but I'm not going to go far deep into the keto food, dirty keto junk. Do I eat high meat? You guys want to see my high meat? I'm still fermenting it. Let's see. I need to do a video on this. I haven't eaten it yet because it doesn't stink enough yet for me to eat it. So here's my high meat, guys and girls. Right? You've got to like, it's puffing up. You've got to fill it to where it's like a little less than half. 1/4% of the way. Like this doesn't even stink yet. Look at that. There's no mold. It's not even goopy. It's not even like liquidy yet. So there's my high meat. It's high meat, Michelle. So yes, I'm trying to do fermented meat for the bacteria, right? Because the theory is a lot of people who talk about high meat, they're like, oh, it makes you feel high. And I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is to repopulate your gut with bacteria because we have a bacterial imbalance. People have small intestinal bacteria, or they have parasites. They have they've got parasites. They have candida overgrowth. So the point is to add in bacteria that can help rebalance your gut flora. That's the reason why you do high meat. You don't do high meat to get high. Like why else do it? You know what I mean? Would your mouth smell if you ate that? You guys, we have enzymes in our saliva that kill bacteria. So that doesn't even smell, to be honest. So no, it's not going to smell that much. Your HDL is kind of low. Let's see here. What do you think of sweetbread? No. And also, was it Mark? I don't know what your cholesterol numbers were before. Did you test them before? How long before? So okay, so what other questions do you guys have? Because I don't want to make this a long stream, because I realize when the streams are long, when people watch the replay, they don't want to watch it because they're like, I'm so overwhelmed. So I didn't see your question. Do you ever cheat and give a day to cheat meal? Okay, so here's another. I should do like cheat meal. What my cheat meal looks like on keto. So my cheat meal is liver. Seriously, liver is my favorite meat. Butter is my cheat. People have this kind of ideology that, you know, if you eat too strict, it's no fun, and like, you know, everybody should allow a cheat day. It's just the most stupid, ridiculous thinking of addicted people I've ever heard of in my life. The reality is, a lot of you guys have histamine issues. You have holes in the gut wall. I've been saying this for 6-7 years now. A lot of you guys have leaky gut. You've got SIBO. And then you add like these foods and your candida just literally explodes. Just freaking just explodes like crazy. And you can't get rid of the parasites. You can't get rid of the biofilms if you keep refeeding. A lot of you guys have like, you know, you guys are compulsive eaters. And when people binge, they can't stop. And it's like, no one talks about this. No one talks about the real stuff. And so if no one talks about it, you don't understand that you're having a binge episode when you've depleted your glycogen and you're not adapted and you decide to refeed. Your brain just freaks out. Steph Miranda is asking how to get rid of parasites and heavy metals. So I'm not a parasite and heavy metal expert, but they're really, really hard to get rid of. So you could do the red sauna therapy, infrared sauna therapy. You can do chelators, the poor man's way to chelate, which is chlorella and cilantro. You could also do, let's see here, use manager of macros, 69. You have to, getting healthy, you might have to post that again, because I'm going to answer this stuff. Just carnivore is not high protein. No, carnivore is not high protein at all. Chelation, exactly. So chelation is trying to get out the heavy metals. For the parasites, you can do ozone therapy, which people talk about, which I'm not sure about if that actually works. You can use oregano oil or oil of oregano and monolaurin to try to kill the biofilms. Now, some people say that it works and that these biofilms like just drop out of you in the stool. These flat things, never seen it myself, but to get rid of the parasites and candida, you've actually got to get rid of the biofilms first. So obviously a low carbohydrate ketogenic diet is going to be great to drop the candida spores, the candida albicans, and then to kill the biofilms. You might want more aggressive things like people use, I think they use colloidal silver, thank you, Danny, appreciate it so much. Our pancakes and with gullet calves. So another form of organ meats. Do you know benefits? Oh, thank you. I'm what is it? Heathen. But need more love. Okay, getting healthy. Stephanie says that apps are not accurate. They're not. It's better that you guys just scan the barcode or enter in the number from the package yourself, because all these apps are completely different and it gets people freaked out. What vegetables are okay to put in bone broth? No, broth is just the broth. No vegetables. So that would be a soup. Then that would be something else. So if you want to do a soup, you can use Christopher's vegetables. So alternative docs do chelation therapy in their office, but it's hard to find. Yes. And I mean, you can use chlorella and I believe that chlorella helps pull the heavy metals out of the cell, and the cilantro helps you poop it out. So, and that's where people are also using the infrared saunas. As you guys know, I have this infrared box back in the back, but it was like bringing out melasma on my face, so I had to stop doing that. Let's see here. Since I'm adapted, should I cut back on my fat? I don't. I don't cut back on my fat at all. I have no need to cut back on my fat. My skin loves it. My body loves it. I get the fat soluble vitamins. You guys are always looking to cut back on the fat. Okay, now I'm just getting silly. If you guys have a few more questions, I'm going to answer them. But otherwise, I know that when I do live streams, if they go up to an hour, people aren't watching them as much because they're overwhelmed for how long a live stream can be. Unless I flip it and start talking about, like, do Steph's story, which I think I should do. But since I'm adapted, okay, come on. Living in the Northeast, vitamin D. So I don't like vitamin D supplements, and I've been, if you guys go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, and everything else is on my website, which is stephanieperson.com. I don't like vitamin D supplements. I should talk about that. Thank you so much, Crystal, who writes, thanks for doing what you do and teaching us without charging an arm and a leg. I know, right? My nose is running, dipping most of the time. Is almond flour okay? No, it's garbage. Almond flour is just serious garbage. Y'all, come on. Now, how many grams of fat do you eat a day? I probably eat around 220 to 240 grams of fat. Probably more because I don't count the cooking process whatsoever. And I don't really count the fat in the meat. So I'm just counting the fat that I add to my plate. So I'm adding like 7 tablespoons of fat and another 7 tablespoons of fat and fat in between, fat all day long. Thank you, Jessica. 200 grams of fat at least. Okay, so how to explain this? What was I going to explain? I want to get this very, very clear, you guys. It's very difficult to lose body fat without, it's very difficult to lose body fat without losing muscle. So let's just get that clear. It takes a lot of dedication to train your body to balance. You have the sympathetic day and the parasympathetic evening. And if you guys can't get your body in that rested state or phase in the evening, you're not going to just burn fat and spare the muscle. So muscle are proteins. So it's not just muscle, it's also skin, right? Bone marrow, your reproductive hormones, your hormones. These are the things that you're trying to spare when you drop weight. So no one is talking about this. It's incredibly difficult. There's a reason why I'm 51, right? I'm 51. You guys can go back in my videos. I'm like, I'm 45, I'm 46, I'm 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. There's a reason why I'm like this. For it real quick, Danny. Okay, that's so low. Okay, so it's very, very, very difficult to drop body fat, right? To get that fat right here, right? So what you guys have to understand is that you train your fat cells to be endocrine producers of estrogen, which then what does estrogen do? It gives you boobs and it gets you soft. It also makes you fat. And so you have to balance your endocrine system. So you've got your adrenals, you've got adrenaline, you've got cortisol, and you have certain hormones that are regulating your system, and you have to factor that in. So if you decide to do fasted cardio or intermittent fast, and you have serious blood sugar dysregulations, if your blood sugar is going like this, now you're making it go like this, right? And that messes your with its nice light. That messes with your endocrine system. So you have to be careful with fat loss on a scale, because the big thing, the huge 2 things I get from people is, why is my skin getting crepey? Why am I getting dark under the eyes? And why is my hair falling out on a low carb diet? So, you know, I often look at Chris Kresser's stuff. I think he's very, very intelligent. But one thing that Chris Kresser has wrong, he says that you cannot do low carb diets over the long term because it'll frack you up. Well, that is not true. But then he says, oh, but not everyone. Not everyone. And I'm like, okay, the reason why not everyone, because some people are in a hurry and some people take their time. And all the people that I've worked with over the years and years, right? Been doing this 11 years. And I didn't just start consulting people. Like, I've been doing this forever. Go back and look at my videos. Don't look at them. You can see that I've been consulting for a long time. And the reason why people don't do well on a ketogenic diet is because they're not using enough viable ketones and their blood sugar is fracked up all over the place. So then when your blood sugar is like this, so is your endocrine system. And if your endocrine system starts bouncing around, you start getting sick. You start messing with your regulatory systems. And then you just can't do keto much longer. You have to stop. So that is the reason why low carb diets don't work. And if you guys are going to do a low carb diet and not keto, if you guys are asking questions, if you go low, then you're messing in your metabolism and so many other things. If you go too low. The only thing is, like, my blood sugar's low, but my ketones are right there. So it's not about how low, did you mean blood sugar? It really matters on how your body uses energy. So if it's using energy effectively because you're going to bed earlier and you're breathing and you've got a straight plumb line and you're lifting, right? You're using them Slatin filaments and you're mindful. And if you're doing all these things and you're minding your gut and you're pooping, oh, do I want to do a video about you guys aren't pooping and you've got like plaques and like stuff gets backed up into your small intestine and it re-enters the bloodstream. You guys develop histamine issues and estrogen issues and gallbladder issues, and people aren't speaking about this in terms of weight loss. And let me tell you something right now. If you don't address those things, you're not going to get fixed. You guys have low stomach acid. You're not even breaking down your food. Y'all are malabsorptive. You guys, your whole B complex and B12 is like down the toilet. Let me see. I'm late and stuff. You talk about stool issues, please. What do you want me to ask? Something specific with now? What are some things you did wrong when you first started keto? Okay, you guys, when I first started keto, nobody was talking about it. Now y'all can't even find me anymore, right? Look, there's only 68 people in this chat. You would think of me being on the internet forever talking about keto before anybody else. Boom! But that stopped my hypoglycemia or postprandial hypoglycemia. Okay, so should I buy fat crackers? Of course. Instead of 86. 86 is keto. That's just starvation. Sorry. 86 grams of fat a day is like nothing. 86 grams of fat is a couple tablespoons and some avocado. Like 3 tablespoons of avocado and some meat on a plate for the whole day. That's way too low. I think there's a glitch because it said 66 likes and now it says 49. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. On my screen, it says 0 likes. I track my macros track my macros in a notebook by hand. That's perfect. On my Instagram, you guys, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, I was talking about thrush on the tongue. If you have a white tongue, y'all need to look at your tongue. Y'all need to look under your eyes. Y'all need to look at your nails and see if you got ridges, right? These are the things that you need to look at when you're doing a ketogenic protocol, because some of those symptoms get worse, right? The tongue just gets coated on keto. And then you start to develop like really bad dandruff. And then like your nails start ridging out. Get a little ringing in the ears. Little numbness on the fingertips. Because y'all are doing things the wrong way. Okay, we're at 42 minutes. Do you guys have any last questions? Because I didn't want to make this stream too long. Yeah. But I will say this. You guys need help. And that is the reason why I'm trying my hardest to learn, read, consult, work with people to try to really see what matters. There is no agenda with what I do. I track my macros. Okay, I already saw that. I think there was a glitch. Okay, I already saw that too. Let me see. Blood pressure caused from, what's low blood pressure? Not caused from keto. It's probably that people who've got don't know that they always have low blood pressure, and that you're probably not getting enough water and sodium into your diet. So you could put salt, some Himalayan salt, some Celtic salt in a glass of water and drink it to regulate your blood pressure. Floating. You might want to consider it's either a leaky gut or it's gallbladder issues if your stool is floating. So one would be oxybile, the other would be betaine HCl for your floating stool, and some like lipase enzymes to help break down that fat, so you don't have, so it doesn't end up in the toilet as greasy stool. Let's see. So I really just want you guys to understand, Catherine, are you trying to take potassium supplements? So potassium supplements are toxic. Vitamin D supplements are toxic. You guys, I had a woman on my Instagram who said that she developed kidney damage from the doctor putting her on vitamin D supplements for the last 2 years at 10,000 IUs. Very, very careful with those supplements. You can consider light boxes if you're living in a cold climate. Get some vitamin-rich foods, some cod or krill oil, egg yolks, butter, liver. Let's see here. Numbness in the fingertips is probably due to high cortisol, right? So it's called Raynaud's disorder. You don't get enough blood flow to the fingertips because of so much stress in your body. High cortisol, which also can be connected to tinnitus and vertigo. You guys are stressed out. You don't know that you're stressed out. You're getting a lot of the wrong information online, and people have agendas. Like, if I clickbaited you guys, if I was sitting here in a nice studio in a bikini telling you guys to follow my 90-day ketogenic fat loss program, I would be a rich biatch. But I don't. I talk about your poop floating in the toilet, and that does not make for interesting subject content for people. And I'm always telling people stuff they don't want to hear, like, you gotta eat a lot of fat. Yeah. And don't intermittent fast. Okay, so to book a consultation with Stephanie, go to her website, stephanieperson.com. Yes, I do consultations where I'm not silly. This was supposed to be a quick impromptu live stream where I just quickly wanted to talk about fat loss, and people are getting confused because people keep saying that they had such great results, but they're addicted to the attention. When everyone's like stroking them for doing a good job, they don't tell you all the scary stuff that happened to them as they went on a big, huge friggin' dietary mess of a weight loss thing. But consultations are amazing. Yes, thank you. Would food allergies show up in my blood as high NS? What is it? Eosinophilus. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm not a naturopathic doctor and haven't learned all the terms, and I'm not a doctor, but I know a lot. Let's see here. I've seen people whose social media says that they've been on strict keto, but not in ketosis. It took me only three. People throw around that word ketosis like it's like, like they're throwing around STDs. You guys are not in ketosis because you have a ketones at a 0.7 or 0.9 or even a 1.0 or 2.0. You have to chart your symptoms, right? So you have to be careful when people say they're in ketosis. This is another freaking lie. People are not in ketosis. They're not running primarily on ketones. They think that they are. They go around parading that, look at all my fat loss results. And I really want to say it's not that easy. It's really, really hard to achieve that. Or else you wouldn't have videos saying like, keto is bad for the long term. Be careful. If I lower my fat, I wake up at night hungry. Exactly. See, you wake up hungry because you're not in ketosis. Your body's not burning body fat, which should send a signal to your brain, like, right, your blood sugar. You're waking up because your blood sugar got too low. And you're not using ketones, blood sugar gets too low, and the body wakes you up so you don't go into a coma. How do I calculate my own macros? Get a scale! Just get a scale with grams and ounces. There, it's that simple. Doesn't that sound so like sanctimonious? Just got a scale. It's not that hard, guys. 1 tablespoon of fat is around 14 to 15 grams of fat. 2 is 30. 45. Keeps going up. I'm going to hit 200. Okay, I get ketones finally down to 2.9, but glucose still up over 90. Glucose down to 60. Ketones are 50. Okay, Kelly, that's super hypoglycemia. Right there. when your blood sugar's that high and then it's low and then it's high and then it's low, you're not actually in ketosis. Your body is making ketones, but when the blood sugar gets up to 90, it's like not using those ketones. It's using some, but it's not using many of them, which means that your brain is still looking for glucose, which is why your blood sugar is like this. So you got to work on your stress and getting your fats up and protein down, because keto is not a high protein diet, neither is carnivore. All right, guys, it's time to go because I know people do not like live streams, and I just wanted to speak quickly on fat loss and the confusion of it. Thanks to your channel, 36 years old fireman has got lots of knowledge about the keto diet, feeling great. Yes. Is it okay to eat 2 protein portions breakfast? No, you can't have too much protein at all, because what your body won't use will turn into glucose. Don't believe me, just use a glucometer, so that we don't even have to. Like of the stream, Jessica says. Thank you, Jessica Torres. See ya, take care. See ya, keto muscle. So, what is this keto machine guy who's commenting on my videos lately? He's like, something, I don't know. I can't remember even what he said, but it's, you can't use yourself. That's the reason why I don't do food, my Stephanie's Day of Eating, because you can't use me. I've got great GLUT4 receptor development. My body knows how to uptake glucose if my blood sugar rises to keep me into ketosis. I've got muscle, right? My metabolism is imbalanced. And so if I go show you what I eat or how I eat and then people copy that, it won't work for you. So I can't be, hey, this is how my keto journey is and this is how it worked for me, so you should do it the same. That would be an impossibility. So I hope you get more followers. You deserve it. Yeah, I appreciate it. But the reason literally I don't, okay, I get some followers because I'm fit and I do keto. I get some followers in my age demographic because I'm 51 and people are like, oh, wow, she's 51. I get some followers because I used to be a professional skateboarder, like, you know, big name in skateboarding. So I get some followers because of that. But I don't get the big, massive followers because I don't have, like, I'm not selling you guys stuff. I'm not promising you guys stuff. I'm not jumping on all the trends. Like, if I talked about intermittent fasting, look how lean I got on intermittent fasting. Look at this. Look at my keto body. Yes, people. You know, look at this muscle gains and all this kind of stuff. If I were to do that, I would get a ton of followers. I could clickbait you guys to death, but I just can't do it. And I'm just not motivated. I don't know why. I'm just not. You guys, if I showed you my emails, I almost feel like putting all my emails in one document and then showing you all the emails I get with all the keto products trying to do an affiliate program with me. And I'm like, nope. No. I'm not interested. Go away. Go away. I'm not interested. I don't want to make money that way. You won't last. People won't respect you. I won't respect myself. You can't actually help anybody by lying to them. That's no fun. Even if I'm overweight, I can eat 160 grams of fat. Fat does not make you fat, Catherine. Your blood sugar does. Watch the very beginning of this video because I explained to you guys. If your blood sugar's high because prior you skipped meals and you gorged on food and you had a lot of sugar at night, stress, and your body lost its ability to regulate its blood sugar, you're going to store fat. If you're estrogenic because you don't exercise, you can't poop, so estrogen reabsorbs into the bloodstream. You have inefficient fat cells. They don't turn into gluconeogenesis to release back as glucose or ketones. Then that makes you fat. And stress makes you fat. Cortisol makes you fat. Having a gut dysbiosis makes you fat. All of these things make you fat. But fat alone does not make anyone fat. That's the reason why you must eat a high-fat ketogenic diet to adapt, to train the body to learn how to burn the fat. Because this, people, right here, this fat, because I do have fat, it's not a lot, but it's fat. This is a restaurant, okay? This is my 7-Eleven. You see that? That's my 7-Eleven. And when my body wants to eat, it go right there. Just don't go there. Honesty is the best policy, old school, right, Mark? Oil of oregano is really, really good for foot fungus and warts. Exactly, that too. So apparently oregano oil is a good way to break down biofilms, but they're hard to break down. This is a force field. It protects the parasites and the fungi, all this nastiness. So that's the theme of this video, you guys. Fat doesn't make you fat. It's when your blood sugar spikes and your insulin spikes due to stress, inflammation, bumping your elbow and saying fat. If you arguing with your kids, if you're staying up late, this dysregulates your blood sugar and it bounces high. And when that bounces high, so does insulin. Then you store fat. Okay? And then the fat starts to make estrogen. You get more fat. That's how you get fat. You don't get fat because you eat fat. So people are like, so do I have to up my fat? How am I gonna, like, all these stupid channels saying that if you eat fat you can't lose weight. It's just stupid. You must heal the body. Why are you guys talking about weight loss? You guys have thyroid problems. Your hair is falling out. You haven't pooped for days. Like, you've got crepey skin, circles under the eyes. Like, what's going on? Okay, she speaks the truth. I've been doing keto, Steph's way, for over 2 years, and I'm seeing most of all these improvements. She's talking about, thank you, Deborah. I think Stephanie says no nuts, but it's, yeah, no nuts. Just get rid of them. You photo flour. Like, I don't understand you guys. You guys are sick. You know how many consultations I do every day, and I'm like, but you're sick. But you're sick. You can't get out of bed. You haven't worked out for months. This woman the other day is like, I haven't worked out for months. You know what I need to do next live stream? I need to do like a story time with my clients. I'm like, okay, but I think you have adrenal issues. No, I don't have any adrenal issues. I got energy all day long. But why haven't you worked out for months? Why? Because you have adrenal issues. Because, listen to me, people, my people. If you don't work out, you have adrenal issues. Because if you don't, you can't wait to work out. You're like, get me like to the gym, outside, a hike. You ride a bike, freaking calisthenics. Like, when your energy, when your adrenals are balanced, somebody's got to chain you down to not move the body. So if you guys don't feel it, there's something going on with your energy crisis. No intermittent fasting either. What's wrong with y'all people? Everybody who intermittent fasts is trying to get lean, but then they don't get the gains. All right, they don't get the freaking gains. You have to talk about balancing your endocrine system and not intermittent fasting. If you're going to intermittent fast, don't do nothing. Chill, relax, stabilize your blood sugar. Because if your blood sugar is unstable or destabilized, you're not going to access this. You're always going to be right there, right, men? You're always going to be right there, always. So people are like, I did intermittent fasting and it did wonders for me. And I'm like, you go to their Facebook pages, you go to Instagram, you're like, I think you need a new mirror because you don't look too healthy. Sorry. Okay, I've been in Big Brother magazine. Have you ever been in Big Brother? No, I have not been in Big Brother, but I've been in Thrasher and I've been in Trans World and I've been in RAD and a lot of European magazines. Thrasher and Trans World. Thrasher and Trans World's around to show you guys me in Thrasher and Trans World. Jerry Keto is done right. Actually reduces gas, 200 grams, 45 grams of protein, 20 grams of cruciferous vegetable. Yeah, Whitney got it. She got it for a woman. 45 grams of protein, total protein as a woman. But that's kind of low. You guys can go up as a woman to 55 grams of protein spread throughout your day. And if you guys are starving on 45 grams of protein, that is because your fats are too low. Because everybody who eats macadamia nuts gets fat. Okay? They have less mycotoxins. They are mostly to get right to the cells, right? Because you're going to get carrots. You're not going to be able to get that A into the body unless you eat it with fat. You need retinol, right? Fully formed. Okay, so now I'm just rambling. Intermittent fasting, eat when you get hungry. No. You don't eat when you get hungry. On the first stages of keto, you actually have to eat when you're not hungry, and you have to establish if there's problems with your gallbladder or with your gut wall. Those are the things you must establish. Okay, guys, it's time to go, and I need to work on home. So you guys know I have a keto course. It's $15 a month. It is a fart in a bucket. It's not expensive. You could try it for 1 month or many months, but it's awesome. I'm creating a whole new, I have a person helping me. She's awesome. We're creating a whole new strategy for the course. We're bumping up to the next level. I'm going to be adding new meal plans to my website, and also this book it just has to be edited now and photographed, and it's done. Okay. And I will be traveling in the spring and summer and doing live seminars like I was 2 years ago. You guys know I went to South Africa twice and did a seminar there, and I went and did 3 seminars in Australia for a month, and also in New York. I will be doing it again and spreading the word. Spreading the word, yes. And I thought I was going to do Steph's story time, but I think it's getting too late. I think I really need to just get back to work. I think Stephanie says no nuts, but if you're going to eat them, do them in moderation because the carb adds up. Kelly, it's not just the carbs. There are carbs, but it's also the mycotoxins. That's why other cultures soak their nuts. It's the phytates. People get bloated and skin issues. The blood sugar gets really, really wonky. Made my first bone broth. It was delicious, fabulous. That means you add the right flavoring to it, because when people don't flavor their broth, it smells like rotting bones and tastes like it. Since you don't suggest intermittent fasting, is there a time that you should eat after, like no eating after 6? Well, the reason why people should not typically eat after 6 is because you're supposed to be going to bed soon, and your body needs 3 hours of digestive clearance, because it's a lot of work for the body to break down food at night. And so if your body's breaking down food at night, but you're eating too late, eventually the body just won't digest it all, and it stays right there putrefying in the stomach all night long, and that can mess your blood sugar up, and you wake up not hungry. That's why your blood sugar is high when you wake up in the morning. You have undigested food just sitting there making you toxic. So that's why people try to stop eating by a certain time. Boop. All right, time to go. Can't they make phones if your phone rings and it won't stop the broadcast? That was a good question. I can't stand when that notification comes up. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and able to abide by our something policy. Okay, so I'm going to explain this really quick and then I'm going to stop. Dr. Gundry has a book called The Plant Paradox. It's got some great information on it. Fabulous. But the problem with Mr. Gundry is that he's plant-based. And when he's asked about it, when I watch in his live interviews, he doesn't address the fact that plants have all these anti-nutrients and, like our soils are depleted and things are hybridized and genetically modified and selectively bred. But then he's eating these foods. Out of season. Okay. Doing keto your way since 9/26/18, dealing with explosive face acne for the past 2 weeks. It's probably... could be also candida. I don't know why. Book a consultation. Book. I'm going to hit the Dr. Gundry thing and then bounce. Dr. Gundry does not do carnivore, so how can you talk about it? These doctors aren't gods, people. Okay? They're not gods. I mean, essentially, I'm doing a carnivore diet in some aspects because I haven't eaten grains and starches or anything in 11 years, and I didn't explode and turn into a ghost. I'm still here on this planet. Yeah, 11 years strict, and I don't eat a lot of vegetables. I did it once, but I took them down, and the more I learned about the anti-nutrients in them, then I took them down a lot. Now, and once I learned more about the carnivore diet, which is why I've talked about the carnivore diet a lot as of late, because a lot of people have issues with the anti-nutrients. The internal pesticides, the salicylates, the oxalates, the goitrogens, the nightshades, the saponins, the tannins, the gluten, the lectins. There's a lot. Are you guys still here? Yeah, like. Okay, Live. Okay, you made it live. So the reason why Dr. Gundry says that the carnivore, which people say you can't do keto over the long term, is because they are putting their opinion onto it because they don't do it. What's the difference between that and the person saying, I lost 60 pounds, look how healthy I am? And then they omit the truth. Dr. Gundry does not say, but I haven't done it. This is my guess. He's guessing. Do it, bro. Do it, and then report back what happened to you. Vitamins? Vitamins are in liver. Vitamins aren't in plant. They're not even fully formed. What are you going to get? Vitamin D from a plant? No. B12 from a plant? No. The best sources of calcium are going to be bones, eggshells, not spinach. Vitamin A, liver. Copper, liver. Zinc, liver. Those are vitamins. We've been lied to, people. There's not as many bioavailable sources of vitamins and minerals in plants, especially since our soils are fracked up. We don't even get a lot of potassium and magnesium anymore. We don't even get a lot of minerals from plants like we used to. Collaborate with Dr. Ken Berry. We are already collaborating, okay? All right? And I've already spoken, so. Also, one of my favorite people online, and I don't agree with all these people, but I love, these people. And I think I'm older than him. Yes. Also, Mike Munzel. I love him. I love High Intensity Health. I love his channel. He's my favorite. He does some stuff I absolutely emphatically disagree with, like intermittent fasting and coffee, but like everything else, I love. So if you really, really, really want a lot of great information, High Intensity Health, because he does great interviews. And Dr. Ken Berry, he's cool. He's a cool dude. He reached out to me on Instagram, and so we've talked. Plus, he lives very, very close to my mother. So when I go to visit my mother, I will go visit him and his wife. What's her name again? I thought she was black at first, but she's not. Let me see. I have peripheral neuropathy from too much B6. Okay, so what you trying to say? B6 from what? From supplements? From food? Do you have a genetic mutation? Genetic disorder? Okay, you guys, I better go, because now this stream is just, I can just hear the complaints. Oh my God, you're so all over the place. You're so all over, oh, my hands. Somebody's like, you use your hands too much. I'm like, y'all have opinions all day long. When I have opinions on somebody else's channel, I give them praise, because otherwise I don't care. Anyway, all right, guys, I need to shut up. I'm just being silly. Thank you, everyone, for joining the chat. Thank you, Deborah, for slaying the trolls. I think that Frank Tufano, you need to get a moderator. Okay, Mr. Frankie? Because the trolls are slaying you. You can't have the trolls slay you. You've got to have a slay troll patroller. A troll patrol slayer, right, Deborah? So Deborah has literally changed the face of my live streams, because without her, I kept reacting to people. And then now that Deborah's there, I forget that the trolls are there. And then when I'm not on a live stream, I realize how stupid it is to respond to trolls. Then you're like, oh, why did I respond anyway? Mod or no moderator. You don't have to reach 20 grams of carbs, as I just said. And it's literally, you have like a couple cups of, you could have some cruciferous you could have cruciferous vegetables in breakfast or lunch or dinner. You good. You don't need as many plants as we once thought. But let me tell you right now, you better get on that liver. You need to get oxidase. You cannot break down your histamine. When carnivore? You said it, spelled it funny though. Carnivore. Yeah, we appreciate Deborah. Naisha. Okay. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna do some non-live streams and do some recorded videos. So You don't see me all over the place. So don't comment that I'm all over the place because I know that. Okay? But sometimes it's nice to see somebody live and answer questions live. When carnivore, how can I reach my 200 grams of carbs? You don't eat carbs on carnivore, people. And you call it keto carnivore, by the way. Okay, don't forget to like up this stream. Stop it getting blurry. Focus! You guys, you don't eat carbs on a carnivore diet. That's the whole point. Thank you, Harp D. Without vegetables on a carnivore diet, yeah. So Frank Tufano does a great job of breaking down the nutrient density between foods, but the whole keto carnivore thing, that's my lane, right? So you got to do keto carnivore. You're going to sit and mess up your electrolytes, right? You're going to start to develop some deficiencies and your hair's going to start falling out. We don't want that. Okay, this is a lot easier to do good-looking, rich, good, what? It's a lot easier for good-looking and rich guys to get, what are you talking about, Steve? Child, no. Steve wants to talk about his insecurities. That's it. That's an interesting subject, right? Which I should do. I should do some non-keto live streams. I think I'm going to do that. People are still going to answer keto questions. But y'all, like when it comes to men and women, Steve, you just getting slayed, honey child. Just stop. Like, Steve, your comments aren't going through. Sorry. One guy came through that I read. And when guys or girls talk about men and women, there's so much insecurity involved. Steve, think Deborah's like, he's gone, Steph. Yeah. It's like, slay the comments, and then you just got to block them, right? Sorry, Steve. You have to be blocked. And when they try that hard, Deborah, there are some people that say some weird stuff, even on my Instagram. Maybe you can talk about how you can live with a partner who doesn't do keto. Or how about kids, family member? I can talk about that in another live stream because I'm trying to go here. But the whole point that I've always said to people is that if you're having health issues and you're trying to do keto to help heal the body, you gotta stay on the straight, narrow path of what's important for yourself. And you've got to put your food to the side and do it. And no matter what anyone says, you've got to know what your whole thing is. You know, I really think that families and partners should work together. Or why are you with that person? Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole point is if they don't want to do keto, that they should at least do low carb, high fat. And two adults should be able to have that conversation. And I keep seeing people who have relationships with people where one decides to be healthy, the other one's like, oh, that stuff's ridiculous. I'm not eating that way. It's no fun. Like, that's too restrictive. And I don't even know how y'all can get together and get along like that. He's a coward. Steve keeps trying, but it's not working. Okay, exactly. Fact that you can answer a shotgun question says a lot when you don't know. You don't try to fake it. No, there's enough faking it. And I mean, today's stream was not like, I'm just going to answer a bunch of sciencey questions. Today, I really wanted to talk about fat loss. And I really wanted to just speak on the idea that people are spreading the wrong information. No one's going to say that they lost 60 pounds and their hair started falling out, or their bowels locked up, or their stool was loose, or they developed hypoglycemia, because they won't get the adulation from that. When you lose 60 pounds, you want everybody to say, good job, Hercules. You know, they don't tell you the difficulties that came, the slap back that came from that. And that's why I wanted to do this live stream. So be very, very, very careful with the before and after pictures. I wish I had a fat Stephanie before and then a ripped Stephanie after to do a clickbait thumbnail picture. But I was never fat, never was going to be. So I just got to use reality and be like, the always Stephanie. Okay, guys, that's it. Good night. I better go. Steve, I'm leaving. So you got to take your comments to somebody else's stream. or meeting someone new that does it. Now, I meet guys and go out with friends that don't do keto all the time, but they kind of get curious being around me. And to be honest, it's very bizarre. Every time I go out with non-keto people, they try to order the same as me. And I'm like, yeah, order what you want. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna do me, you do you. Because I literally don't care. I've been doing this for so long. I'm not looking at what's on their plate. I already did that years ago. And I was like, oh, what are they eating? That pizza and all that kind of stuff. Because I used to eat that. Right? At 51, you live a whole life of eating garbage. Okay, guys, I am just rambling. So good night. Have a lovely evening. For those who watch the replay, don't forget to like up the stream. And my next uploaded video will not be all over the place. So don't comment to be way more organized. Not at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I get a little loopy. And I don't mean Guadalupe. Okay, guys, that is it. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this chat. And I'm out. Peace. Don't forget to go to stephanieperson.com or my Instagrammy, Stephanie Ketogenic, or my Facebook. I have a fan page, which is Stephanie. This is the business person 51. All right, I'm out. I need to stop talking. Somebody said drink some water. They're right. I need to drink some water. Oh my God, so not fabulous. So not fabulous. I'm dehydrated. You got bubbly pee. You got bubbly saliva. Stuff going on. I'm with y'all. Bye, guys. Bye.